scrappy friends. It's Kim back from Making Creative Memories in Time, and guess what time it is? It's time for Take Me Back Thursday. So today I am here with not necessarily an old paper collection, but I'm here with photos from 1992. Yep, you heard me, 1992. And I'm sorry about the glare there. My studio lights are probably glaring on these ultra glossy pictures that were processed and developed in 1992. So this is my baby sister. And for those of you who follow me, you know I have a brand new great nephew who is being released from NICU today. Whoop, whoop. And he is her grandson, her first grandson. And so she calls herself Nani. So, yeah, we're taking it way back. So this is her senior prom, and the 3 pictures I chose are very important. So when you have a lot of photos to scrapbook and you want to do a 1-page layout, think about what story do you want to tell from those photos and help narrow down your pictures. So this was my sister's best friend their senior year in high school. A few years back, he was killed in an automobile accident. So he's no longer with us. Then this is our grandmother and our uncle. Our uncle died very suddenly and unexpectedly in 2020 from a heart attack. And then our grandma died at the age of almost 95 in 2021. So in this picture, all 3 have since passed. And then this is just a picture of our dad and mom with her. And so these pictures are very important to me to scrapbook from her prom. So the Take Me Back part of this project is the old 1992 photos. Now the paper that I have chosen, the collection for this today only goes back to 2022. It's a close to my heart collection, which all of my old paper is going to be close to my heart. And it is a collection called Cherish. Now I'm not using that sketch. That's just a sketch that I found from page maps that I thought would look beautiful with this paper. So I printed it way back at the time and stuck it in here. So this collection is Cherish. And if you have any old close to my heart paper, you may have this. If not, feel free to use a paper collection straight from your old stash. Because what's the purpose of this Take Me Back Thursday? Put those old pictures to paper, or pull that old paper out from your stash and do what? Use it, right? So this is what I'm working with. Now, I've pulled the things I think I'm going to use today. I have pulled the Cherish card making stamp set, and this one is awesome because it has a stencil, and I plan on using that. And the Cherish scrapbooking, because I love these florals. I may stamp some, I may use from the stickers, I'm not sure. This was the Cherish embellishment pack. And then this is what I have not used from the sticker pack because I had used this previously. And I hate when these stickers come loose and they're all over the place. I love this collection, and it even has pine cones in it, so it could be perfect with the shading to do winter pictures. And then I did pull these 2 pocket cards because I like to fussy cut, and I may fussy cut some of these floral pieces to use. I did pull these 2 zip strips in this beautiful shortbread color. They're just polka dot. I pulled 1 piece of shortbread cardstock. I pulled a piece of Seabrook. And then I pulled 2 pieces of French vanilla. One is going to be the card or the scrapbook base. The other will either be photo mats, or I will stamp on I'm definitely stamping, so this will be to stamp on. And then I have pulled Mist, a piece of Mist cardstock, and then I have pulled, these pieces were already cut into, and I'm hoping that I can use what's already been cut into without cutting into a new sheet of paper. So this one on the back has the little teeny tiny, I call this print like a calico because it's floral and it's real small. And then the reverse side is that beautiful larger Hero floral paper. This one is just a beautiful like sage green, and that mist striping on the back is just like that soft little shortbread yellow floral. And then this one just had some stripes that had florals and colors and just leaves and vines. And on the reverse side of that is just this beautiful print. So we'll see how this plays out. I'm trying really hard not to cut into a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper, so I'm gonna make this work. And so to get started, I know that one of these pieces of white is going to be, or French vanilla, not white, is going to be used for stamping. And so we are going to go ahead and stamp. And I am going to use some, because I am going to be blending over, we're going to use Intense Black ink. And so I'm going to pull this Stampin' Thin Cut. Now this, I had just played around with at the time I got this to see like what Christmas colors would look like on this. And this is using the stencil, so you'll see me use the stencil later. But I didn't toss it. I put it right back in the envelope. Here are the stencils that we'll use and the thin cut. So let's go ahead and stamp. I'm going to pull this off. And it's going to require a rather large block. And I think just to ensure that all of my edges are on the stamp, or on the block, I mean. We're going to do it like that because it doesn't matter. We're going to die cut it anyway. I'm probably going to need to stand for this. So this is Intense Black. And you want to make sure that you're inked up really well. And I'm not going to press really hard because my Intense Black pad is a little bit juicy. When I re-inked it several months ago, it got too much ink. And so mine is extremely juicy. And I think Intense Black is meant to be a little more dry. I am going to go with that. It didn't stamp. I didn't press as hard in the middle. So you see it's not as crisp, but I'm going to go with that. I'm going to be happy with what that looks like. And you can see what I'm talking about when I say it's a little juicy. You see how dark that is in that area. But I did not want to press any harder because I didn't want it to become blurred. So that's why I'm just going to take it like it is. And after we do our shading, I'm going to show you how you can come back in and if you want that to be a little darker. Now, Intense Black ink does stain your stamps. So don't panic. That stamp is clean, but it is stained, okay? So, now we're going to let that dry while we work on the rest of our layout, and then we'll come back to that. Let me go ahead. Let's just go ahead and stamp a couple before we move on. Let's stamp just a couple of these because I want to do all of the stamping with the Intense Black, so it's going to have time to dry. So let's pull a few more blocks. And I have another Intense Black that is a little drier. Let's try this one. So I know definitely I want this stamp. And this one has not been used. So we are going to Yeah, this one is a lot drier. Beautiful. So we are just going to stamp maybe 3 of these. Okay, so I've ended up stamping quite a bit. Now, I'm only going to color and die cut what I think I'm going to use. But I did end up stamping quite a bit. And I pulled ink that I will color these with. Shortbread, Mist, and Seabrook, which match this paper collection. And so I've got that ready. So let's now move to building the page. Okay, so when I think about building my page, I'm going to start with a French vanilla base. And while I'm adhering this, thank you for all of my recent subscriptions. I love you guys, and thank you so much for helping my channel grow. And again, I've asked this question, do you guys like sped up process videos? Do you like hearing the thought process? And I like your response telling me that you can speed through if you don't want to watch parts. So I appreciate you guys so very much. All right, the first thing that I think I want to do is I do want to pull this piece of French vanilla, and I want to go ahead and mount my photos. And I think I want the picture of my grandma and my uncle at the top, my mom, and then I think I want the one of them in the middle. And these friends are going to go, they're going to butt up to one another. There's not going to be any space in between them because I want this little angle thing happening. And because I did the photos a little bit larger, I want to be able to get my angle, okay? So let's go ahead and adhere these. And my sister actually wrote on these, which, I mean, I knew she graduated in 1992, so that one would not have been hard. But so I inherited these photos from my mom. My mom is still with us. She just decided to go ahead and give me some boxes of photos on my last visit, and I am so thankful she did. And these, that really is what inspired this little series, because I've got so many great old photos, right? Okay, now let's just look at that. I'm happy with it. And let's pull in our trimmer. And first thing that I'm going to do, let's use our guide. Nope, we're going to have to come back out just a smidge. That's what I love about this trimmer. It has this little guide. Did you guys know that our trimmer has this little guide that will let you see where you are? I love it. I love it. And we're just going to sit that French vanilla off to the side. Okay, so this is going to sort of go on my page like this. There's going to be this little floral spray down here because I want to try to hide some of that pink that my mom is wearing. I've never been one that like matches up paper and photos all cutie-tootie. That's not me. Not me at all. So I'm thinking that there's going to be a strip, say maybe 5 inches of this. Let's go ahead and trim this down. 5 inches, and that seems a little rough on that edge, so let's flip it over. Now this has those stripes that I'm not sure I'm going to do away with just yet. So we're going to do like 5 inches right here. And I love that her green dress is going to work really well with this paper, but these photos are going to pop. I love that. I love that. Okay, now I get a little too excited. I know, friends, I get a little too excited. This, I was hoping I would be able to use, but neither piece is 12 inches. But if I'm going to run a strip of this here, you're not going to be able to tell back behind, right? You're not going to be able to tell. So we may make that work for us right there, friends. I don't think I'm going to use this floral in any of the stripe that's going to go behind, because I'm going to have big floral here, big floral here, okay? So this piece, I can just move. I know I'm not going to use that. I don't think I'm going to use this anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and move that off our table. Now, here's where I'm going to contemplate a little bit. I have this shortbread stripe, and this shortbread stripe, I'm liking that, okay? I am going to look at, there's this sage, very thin, like a 1/4 inch, that I could put right in the middle there. Or there is this French vanilla scallop, and I'm telling you, I think I'm loving this French vanilla scallop. I think I'm loving that. And then I do think I want to cut. So let's let this be, let's let this be 3/4 of an inch. And I need one for the top and one for the bottom. And with this diagonal stripe, you will want to pay attention. And if your stripes at the top are going this way, you'll want your stripes at the bottom to be going that way. Which either way, they're going to work. But like, you want to be directionally appropriate. Okay. And then I think I'm going to do... Nope, I think I want the yellow. And then I am going to let this go right in there, because that's really going to show up on that paper. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so let's start attaching. But now I have to think about what color am I going to matte behind this. Number one, I am using mist here. So mist is not going to show up on this paper. French vanilla is not going to show up on this paper. I really don't think Seabrook is going to show up on that paper. So I think my outer matte is going to be shortbread. Do I want the light side of shortbread? I think I'm going to get a better contrast if I use the light side of shortbread. So if you have dual tone paper, whether it be Close to My Heart dual tone cardstock, whether it be some of the recent cardstock from Creative Memories, or whether it be some other dual tone cardstock, whenever you are working with multiple colors on a page like this, flip it over and see what's going to look best on your project. Is it going to be the lighter tone, or is it going to be the true tone? So again, we're going to use our guide, and we're going to see what we have here. need to straighten that up just a smidge. And I can. Oh no, that looks pretty good. Now, if you don't like it on the angle, you can totally do it this way. And you can have like your floral spray sort of come this way and come this way. I really just want this to be a little wonky and offset. That's just me. That's how I want that to be. Just a little wonky and offset. Okay, so now we're going to attach this one down. I think I'm going to go like 3.5. And then we're going to attach this sweet, I keep wanting to call this buttercup, but it's shortbread yellow. And we're just going to attach that. Now, this is going to be one of those pages. You guys who follow me, who subscribe to me, you know recently I've been on this huge mixed media kick. This is going to have a lot of white space. And I'm not talking about white paper, just places for your eye to rest along the page. And this is going to be a one page. I'm not going to come back in my family album and do a second page of this, at least not anytime soon. So this is just going to be a one page layout. So that's why I'm thinking I want this a little more on the angle, because it's going to be visually more pleasing for your eye. So here I am going to, thought I had a pair of scissors ready. Here I am going to make a snip about right there. And then we're going to see, friends, if this will work out for me. See how I did not want to cut into a new sheet of paper. But do you see how letting that little part that doesn't meet hide behind the photo? Who's going to know? Who's going to know, right? Well, you're going to know because you're watching this YouTube. But in the album, when little baby Roland is much older and he's looking at pictures of his Nani at her senior prom, maybe when he's a senior and he's looking at this, he's not going to know. His date is not going to know. And I'm using Repositionable Adhesive. The only things that will be linked below are the things that I'm using that are creative memories that you can get, because the rest of this is coming from my stash, friends. Okay, so now we're going to pull this cute little scallop. We're just going to line this. And here's what we're going to do. We're not going to waste this cute little scallop. And I'm eyeballing this, okay? We are not going to waste this, friends, because I could use, if there's a teeny little piece of this left, I can use it on a card or even on another page, because there's only 2 pieces on the sticker sheet. That may be the educator in me. For those of you who don't know, I taught school for 20 years before I changed career path. Now, here's something I want to do. Up here, I want the scallop to be at the top. And I'm just eyeballing that, so I hope when I pick it up, it's not uber crooked. Simply because these stickers are sticky. we go. Okay, friends, that little bird sticker keeps coming off. I love it so far. So far, I am loving it. Now, what I'm going to do, I thought about even putting this up on foam. I'm going to adhere this down. But when I start building my floral clusters, I am going to want some tucked under and some over. So what I'm going to do is I am only putting adhesive in the very center, but I'm not going all the way to either edge because I'm going to tuck. Now what can happen when I'm finished with that is I can come right back in with some adhesive. I'm just using my sleeve so I don't get a lot of fingerprints. I can come back in with some adhesive on the edges. Some liquid adhesive if need be on those edges. Okay? So now let's start looking at what... So over here, I know I want my title to be this cherish. I want to stamp that word cherish right in there. Okay? I want to stamp that word. And then I am liking Wonderful Life. So I am liking Life. So I think I'm going to do Life right here. But I want it to be in this part so that it will show up. So let's pull our little mat. Our silicone mat. And start sticking some of these stickers down. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the word Life sticker off. Now this is done like in a charcoal gray. And when I stamp, it's actually going to look a lot darker. But it'll be okay. Or we might just, I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know. We're going to pull this out. I may be changing my mind here about my title because Cherish is not going to show up on that. Let's just stick this down. And I really wanted Cherish Life. We may use this right here, Enjoy the Moment. This is really going to show up. And we may use that. Okay? Definitely I know I want to use this little fella right there. And if I'm going to do clusters, I probably want to do 2 of them. I think I want to pull these 2. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to pull from this. And then now, let's take a real quick peek at this and see if there's anything in here. And then I can show you how I am going to color my embellishments. I just want to see what we have in here. There might even be a title in here that I want to use. There's a cute little tag. Ooh, I think those flowers would be cute. That kind of looks like a snowflake. That's similar to a snowflake, so we're not going to use anything that looks a little bit similar to a snowflake. That's a really pretty frame, but we're not going to use that today. Ooh, I kind of like this with the hearts. Let's pull that. I'm going to go ahead and pull both out just in case I need both. We may use it, we may not. All I'm going to do right now is just pull out some things I think I may want to use. And because this is a French vanilla color, it would show up really pretty in that area right there. Which, if we're going to use it, we may pull. Look at this cute wood grain. Memories. Ooh. Enjoy the Moment. I love that Memories. I'm liking that wood grain. We're going to pull that. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's just look. Moments. I don't know that we're going to pull any of this. We may come back like with possibly some hearts, maybe. So we're going to move this sort of misty stuff out of the way. We're going to leave this because we may use this. Now, real quickly, what I want to do is I want to show you how, and I'm going to leave these because I may fussy cut these. I am going to show you how this stencil right here works. And then I'm going to show you, like, for example, on one of these flowers, how I use my water brush and my ink pads to color. But right now, I am going to show you this stencil. So what I'm going to do is I am going to line up the flower. And I want to get this lined up. I should have marked it. There we go. There we go. So let's see if we can find a Sharpie pen now that it's lined up, and go ahead. And what we're going to do is just in this upper left-hand corner, I'm going to put my initials. That's a note to me to let me know that that's how that's going to line up, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm lining up just this floral stencil. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see this. A little bit better, friends. I want you to be able to see this part. Now what I'm going to do is, once I get it where it needs to be, I'm going to take some mint tape and hold it down. It's not, I don't have to worry about getting ink in an area that I don't want ink. I just want to get it held down. Now that's matching up really good everywhere except right there. But I don't want to worry about this moving around on me. So now I'm going to take shortbread, and I am going to start with a yellow first. And let's just come up, make sure I don't have any. And I'm going to go in with my big brush, and I'm just going to pop in some color. Then I'm coming back, and I'm going to hit a little bit darker just around the edges. Okay, now I am going to come in with a smaller brush, and I'm just going to blend all of that together. Isn't that pretty? And then we are going to come in with, while we're there, let me look at my other two stencils. We're going to put this stencil down. And we're going to come in with Mist. And I want this part to be really dark. Don't be afraid of stencils, friends. Do not, if you have stencils in your stash, do not be afraid of stencils. Stencils are fabulous. Okay, let's peel this stencil up. And I'm just going to use my damp stamp chamois just to clean that. Okay, now we're finished with this. Look how pretty that's going to be, friends. This one we just need to wipe down a little bit too. And now we are going to put on our stencil for the leaves. I probably should have went ahead and marked these two with the KS. We'll do that after we get this one. Now I'm going to come back in with the Seabrook. And thank you. This is a little bit longer video because I'm doing a little bit longer techniques. So let's find green brush. This one is green. And we're going to come in, whoops, with Seabrook. We're going to do the same thing we did on those leaves. We're going to just deposit, or on that flower, we're going to deposit a little bit of color, and then we're going to come back and make it darker in places. So if you have stencils in your stash, please get them out and use them. Now we're going to come back and we are using that same color, and we're just going to deposit right on the edges a little bit more color. Just on the edges. And it doesn't matter if you have, you know, like spots that look like they need to be blended out or whatever, or some of it doesn't even get ink. This is how you get that sort of natural feel, and then you just come back and you just blend over those leaves. Now, I intentionally left that because I am going to use some liquid pearls on that. And let's just wipe that down. And would you look at that, friends? Look how pretty. Okay, so now let's look at, real quickly, I'm going to show you this one thing, and then I'll do all the rest of this off camera, and we'll come back and put it together. So I want to show you a technique using your dye-based inks. Now, I have not tried this technique like with any ink other than Close to My Heart, because I was a Close to My Heart maker for all these years, and so all of my ink is close to my heart. I do not think this would work with Distress Oxide, and I don't know about regular Distress ink, but you can, for this particular technique, you can push and deposit ink into your lid of your ink pad. You could also put some on packaging or whatever, your all-purpose mat, and you are going to use a water brush or a paintbrush. I have a water brush that I like to use as a paintbrush, and I am going to start off kind of dark, and what I'm going to do is all the area, or at least I want it to be darker, and this color is not going to show that well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pick up color, and we're just going to come in and color these leaves. And we'll come back, since this is not dark enough, we'll come back and add some mist in. And this is just a great way to customize your stamps so that your stamps match your color palette in your paper collection. And we're going to do this one leaf. And then the flowers would be the exact same way. And it doesn't matter if you get high spots and low spots, doesn't matter at all. There, I'm getting a little bit of that darker color that I wanted right there. This is really pretty, and it's going to look watercolored. I love that look right there in that one. I had forgotten just how pale this color is. So there's that leaf. And then let's come in, and you don't even have to wipe that out. You can put that right back on. Now, if it's extremely wet, yeah, wipe it. So we're going to come in with a little bit of that mist, and we're going to go right over those areas. And all it's going to do is add just a little bit of definition where like the vein of the leaves are. It's just going to add a little bit more definition. And then especially down in these areas. And then we may do one of the flowers just so you can see the flower. But do you see that leaf? So we have all of the die cuts, the coloring, the die cuts, everything is ready. I did choose to cut one card. I chose the card that had the flower and the journal card. And so I've already pre-cut a little to make it work for what I needed. So let's just sort of dry fit. I was thinking that possibly these hearts may look cute just as like a separator between the pictures. So I was thinking possibly, that's not necessarily going to separate the picture, but that's a good visual diagonal. And then up here, like if we put this floral in that we fussy cut and take the blue one that we cut off and turn that a little that way. Love that. This is the one that we did. I really don't want it to like cover that much of them. This may offset just a little. And totally, let's think about where. So let's go ahead. I want to get these down. Let's pull this in real quickly. And what I'm going to do, I will come back with some liquid glue. This is just to get these down so they're not going to be spinning all over the place. We're going to go ahead and get these hearts down. Now I am going to come in with my little rub and remove just to pick up anywhere that glue, those glue dots came off. And all I'm doing, I'm not really rubbing real hard. I'm just kind of pulling it to pick up anywhere that those glue dots came off. But I do want to use the repositionable because I want to be able to lift it later and use liquid glue. And then here, I think I'm going to be a little more strategic on this one. And I'm going to try just to get it on the hearts so that I don't have to do that over these photos. Love those hearts. Okay, so now let's think about this little embellishment happening right here. And then I kind of like the title down there. Okay. I want this to be a little bit bigger in this area up here. I don't want my uncle's head to look like he has a flower sprouting out of it. So let's just cut that in half. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm liking this, not to mention it's going to get stuck down with repositionable adhesive, so I can move it around if need be. That's why your girl loves repositionable adhesive, right? Let's go ahead and tuck this guy in. Now these were the ones that we colored. We colored all of these while you were with me in the video, and then well, we didn't color all of them. We colored, I showed you how to do it, and then I popped off and did it, and then did the die cutting. And then here, we're going to take the powder pal. Well, no, I think I want that one tucked under as well. Yep, that's what we need up there, friends. Now, down here, do I want... We may as well... I like just adding that. Do I want it there, though? Maybe now that I look at it, maybe I want it on this side to sort of disguise. Yep, that's where I want it. Okay, now down here, let's go ahead. I'm not going to do any foam on this, but we are going to make it so that it's going to cover as much of my mom's coral pants. Enjoy the moment. Love that. Okay, now let's look at, I really don't know that I'm gonna need anything up here other than maybe this leaf. Let's tuck this leaf in because we don't want a whole lot happening in this area. Thank you for sticking with me, friends. We are almost finished. I did die cut a lot, color and die cut a lot, but I'm gonna be good with what I did. Let's do this up here. I can always drop this right in this paper collection, and then the next time I use this, it's gonna be ready. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be ready. So here, let's put this guy in. And then here we're just going to put our sticker down. I do need just a little something right back here. You guys know me, and you know this is the part that I always struggle the most on, right? So I feel like that's it. I feel like that's all I need to do, friends. I don't feel like I need to add anything else. But now I am going to think about what, I mean, that's a lot of, it's not white space, but it's white space. Did I glue that one? Did I want that one up there? I did want that one up there, and I did not glue that one up there. So let's think. I don't really want to do, because I'm going to use this bisque liquid pearls down in here, but that's going to be the dead last thing I'm going to do. Dead last. I don't think I want any of this, so let's pull these white back. Did I have any words? I don't think I had any words in the French vanilla. I did not have any words. Okay. Let's look back at the sticker sheet. I did not have any more white words. So, and I think this will look weird if I put it. We can try it, but I think it will look weird. And who knows, it may not. Enjoy the moment. I think I may leave it there, but know that it is apt to be moved, possibly. So now with seeing that there, and again, even though they are not boyfriend, girlfriend at prom, and they are just best friends who went to prom together, I think we may do it like this. That sort of gives a little bit of eye movement through. And we are going to go ahead and use some liquid glue. Well, no, we won't use liquid glue. We'll use glue dots. And then I think this page is going to be finished, friends. This Take Me Back Thursday that has photos that goes all the way back to spring 1992. Don't you love it whenever you get old pictures out and on a page? I do. And this series, while I hope you are enjoying this series is more for me than anything, because I want to get pictures on the page. That is my goal. Tell stories. And so what I can do, another thing, if I do decide to move this, I can do some strip journaling in here and have the title down here. But I really feel like having this French vanilla element on this mist paper really helps it to stand out. I can do some journaling here, some strip journaling here, and some journaling here. I love it. Okay, so the very last thing I'm going to do is I am going to use this bisque. And we're going to pull this in because, like, this little bit right here is going to be waste. And so we're going to burp this and make sure there's no air in there. See how that bisque just matches that beautifully? So we're going to move that out of the way so I don't get my hand in it. And up here, we're just going to do, now this will have to lay and dry. And I don't want that to have that peak. So I'm just sort of working it around so it does not have a peak. I want it to be a ball, more like a ball. Okay. And then down here, I think we're going to do 3. And you could 100% use gems if you wanted to use gems. You could use enamel dots if you wanted to use enamel dots. And these are all going in a triangular. And then down here, I am actually filling in the little circles, the little dots, the little berries. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Burp it, make sure the air's out of it. And then let me show you what this is going to look like. Now, it will have to lay and dry, friends. It will have to lay and dry. Would you look how cute? What do you think, friends? Did you enjoy today's Take Me Back Thursday? I know I did. I enjoyed it very much. I am so thankful that I had this beautiful, lovely, cherished paper to tell this story of my sister's senior prom. Be sure, thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and when you subscribe, hit that notification bell so that every Thursday when I do this Take Me Back Thursday series, you are notified when the video is uploaded. Thanks, friends, and happy scraping.